Hello and welcome to the City Newsroom from our studios at number 5 Ola Hansen Lane at Tesano in Accra. My name is Kweku Ediama, answer coming up. NADMO moves to alleviate the plight of flood victims in Ketu South, Keta and Anlo municipalities with relief items.
We have presented these items to you. I know after this, the MMDCs, the district directors and the regional director of NADMO will meet and discuss how to distribute it.
More persons living with disability defy stereotypes to excel in chosen fields. Meanwhile, stakeholders call for significant government support.
At times I would discourage, but at times I say no. Keep pushing. So from keep pushing, I get container. From keep pushing, get this machine.
Also coming up, departure of first batch of 430 pilgrims for 2023 Hajj postponed to Sunday following technical issues announced by the airline.
The airline decided that they had to address a certain technical issue, as a result of which the timing must change.
And later, the quest to discover Ghana's next music icon on Citi TV's Season 5 of The Voice Factory commences with electrifying live performances by contestants.
I wanna be the one who you believe in your heart, sent from heaven. Well, that's a piece of me who leaves when you're gone because it's wrong.
You're welcome to the program. Let's begin with our very first story now. The National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, has sent some relief items to the 3 traditional areas affected by the floods in the Ketu South, Keta and Anlo municipal and district assemblies. The relief items that filled 2 trucks include blankets, life jackets and assorted food items. Meanwhile, just when the floodwaters have begun to recede, the rains have started falling again in the area. My colleague Benjamin Aklama has more in this report.
The floodwater levels in the Ketu South municipality are just beginning to recede. Meanwhile, the rains have started coming once again. The National Disaster Management Organization has come to the aid of the constituents with some food and non-food relief items to help alleviate their plight. The residents are worried that the continuous rain would mean more devastation for their homes. Okay,
Nato, me come poko.
If you are a chiava de me, like me, management.
Aure, I'm doko de jogma. Me ba chit dodoma, me man cow come yala.
But I don't came in here.
Me yana blick plung in yanami. Let me get to honami hamianum. Ni plak bakuna me yasoji. Namian Tommy Pongwika. Me have a chola togo door. Yajiavadu, Nemi, Machunami, Yantomia.
If you are about Chiaro, tell me if you got a jarre like in a queer.
Cavara funami. Arafunamento. Chon dindiamia to Guazi Quamina. Na fashion of once a diamaigo. The few in Asukundiamayo, Wakuma Habodoyo. I drabble for a major clone who push your share for Fioko, what you have. Dovepli, no more contana putore la cogi. Tao furera. Não encourage na suquasha a clotoba a futobono contana eu. Também já te todo manhã na garagem amarato na qualquer tonhema.
If you are not motoko na no venami, o banango magana mi like na bochum.
O moko na mi manya shiko ho magalore.
Angoli la assembly agboko venami.
Assembly ka.
Ela kata kala ka kachi South Assembly agbo.
Ta akoga venami tututwa. Mi a chofio mi de jomo mi mi adrolo. Ko ndu akoga venami tututwa. O kamiashia. Akba. Kami hano no ko venami lo.
So effectively, the woman is saying that they have been greatly impacted by the flood waters. It's difficult to access their livelihoods. Moving across the flooded areas now costs them 1 cedi per move to and fro. And that would mean 2 cedis if you just have to go up and down where they normally would have just walked across. They are saying that has brought a lot of difficulty to them, and their children are hungry at home. I told her about the relief items NADMO has brought, and she was curious to find out if truly those things would get to them and get to their homes to help them to alleviate their plights.
Malona for ha maganya kabenta ha.
Achivare mi leke na rokyo management.
Ya achivada mi miaba fo mo mlo family odo mi akoda kongu de ke ya mahia ba mo to amana na no mo ka ka fle fe kongu de ke ya mi am mlo ma akongu de ke kra mi le ma ba mi ma andre mi ma nyi ma u ko mi an van la ba mi anyi mlo fofon na mi mlo nya ma didi ndo mo mi la fu pa ma ndudu achida mi apa ngo mi sofan la agbozuma anyi gbaji alaka gbagba ta government miamia ji mi ji bana ta okpere mian ala bana ta mi dogola fu pepe o ma ta government na ororo ku do mian che ga jajan fie mi manya leke kaka zana do ga no na mi o roma hie fie o mi lo ami o gbon ve baro roma hie che na ga ja fie ka fuma ha ma ganya no na mi o ta government na ororo ku do mian ta
yo bo yoko na no vie ngo la assembly o gba na ko ga na mi re nya kila shi na government
fine ma ta pa anwo fana amya dafie o garo ma kaka mi makpona re ko nya oba juma vi onya nya nyere ka ba mare ka nya ma vasan because achia da mi pa mi makpona na ka fie mu video kra ko mosquito net ami makpo mi azan la fie ta mi ma nyen ka chuchu ejojo mu ta mi da video kon free kaka this yo mo na na kon fie mi global assembly mo na na ka mu ta mi so fan le ka gbagba odi achia ga jajan ta ma ko ava mi ta government na una ku na mi ngova jwa ma nya mi makpo ni na ta pa ma ku gbaton ko mi makpo na na ko ta na nya ba jirudu agbo chi na alo assembly mo chi na ka no ro ku na mi lo ma da pa.
Effectively, he's saying that he's happy that some help has come, yet normally when things like this occur and help is announced to have come to the community, they barely even see of it or hear of it. So they are hoping that this time the help will truly reach them. He's also worried that the rains that are still coming, he does not know what their fate will be by close of day. He says that rooms that about 2 or 3 people should normally inhabit is being inhabited by about 8 to 10 people, and they are already being crowded in smaller rooms. And he's worried that probably by close of day, should these rains continue, they might have to even move from where they are lodging now, because those areas might also get flooded. Meanwhile, parts of the Agbozima community have had to live without electricity for at least the past 5 days because, as you can see behind me, the poles of the pylons have been distracted by the flood waters, and they are just bending and the lines sagging, almost getting into the flood waters, creating a very dangerous situation here in the community. And so the Electricity Company of Ghana has disconnected the community for the time being. As you can see far behind me, those are ECG staff trying to see what best to do to rectify the situation. The National Director of NADMO, Eric Nana Ajimain-Prempeh, directed the assemblies to do due diligence in distributing the items.
Only the disaster victims. Please, let's ensure that. And let's ensure, as heads of district security here, let's ensure that none of these items find their ways in the market.
Yes, please.
Like what happened last time, they were complaining that people were selling some of our things. Some people find a way to come and take some in the West. They are not for sale. They are to help them. And for these life jackets, there are so many communities. We've been giving it out. Let's ensure that the communities, people use boats and canoes and other things. There are some students who crosses the rivers and other things, the lagoons to school and other things. Life jackets must be used so that we don't experience what we've been hearing from other communities in the country. So on behalf of government and NADMO, we have presented these items to you. I know after this, the MMDCs, the district directors and the regional director of NADMO will meet and discuss how to distribute it to affected victims.
In the Keta municipality as well, the flood water levels are receding, and as you can see, this is the frontage of the Keta Business School's kitchen. The last time we came here, water was as high as my shin level. Now it has receded so much I could even stand on a bit of higher ground. Just a few depressed areas are still holding water. Nonetheless, cooking is still happening in the school's dining hall because the place is still not free of water entirely for cooking to happen. The MCE for the Keta municipality, Emmanuel Gemega, has assured of an equitable distribution of the relief materials in accordance with the directive of the NADMO director. Reporting for Citi News from the Ketu South, Anglo and Keta municipalities, my name is Benjamin Aklama.
Now, despite facing numerous inequalities, many disabled individuals worldwide are defying the odds and excelling in their chosen endeavors, from vocations to artistry and the provision of essential services. They are leaving no stone unturned. The following report by Citi News' Fauzu Masawudu explores the heights persons living with disabilities can reach when given the needed push and protection. It's 10 a.m. in Kanda, Accra, and just like many other workers, Isa Al-Hassan is busy at his trade, mending and making shoes.
Yeah, is it okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. And bring it out. There's one place I want to do it for you. Small one. Small. Is it this one?
Paralyzed by life-threatening polio virus, his constant companion is a walking stick.
In my childhood, I became around, let's say, 3 years to 4 years. I became paralyzed because the polio. It is polio that, make me become disability. So from then, I attended school, but still, my foot, I can't. My legs, I can't. So they take me to 37 hospital. That is where I was admitted. And that is where I was operated.
Despite being unable to pursue higher education and fulfill his aspiration of becoming a medical doctor, Isa has fought through life's hurdles and made the best out of every situation.
Had it been my education has gone far, maybe I can become my ambition through. I'll become a doctor. You get me, a doctor, a medical doctor, or so on. But it doesn't happen that way. I could not find it easy. I have struggled seriously. At times I would discourage. But at times I said no. Keep pushing. So from keep pushing, I get container. From keep pushing, I get this machine. I get the other one to in. So now it remains me now, to get some money to support him, so that I can acquire more materials and some tools that I need, so that the business can go on.
The journey of survival as a person living with disability has not been easy. It can be incredibly lonely, but Isa believes he's better off engaging in a trade rather than begging for alms like many other physically challenged individuals.
If I'm alone, like here I'm alone, there are some certain things I cannot be able to do. Right now, my problem now is I don't have a wife, I don't have a child. That's my problem. If I sleep, I think of it. And I'm praying God that God one day.
There are a lot of people who are disabled and they're on the streets begging. Why have you particularly chosen to work and not beg for alms on the street?
I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed. Like going about or going on the traffic begging. Oh no, I can't. So I decided to manage this way.
According to data from the 2021 Population and Housing Census, persons living with disability constitute 8% of Ghana's population, which is a little over 2 million individuals. Despite the existence of the Disability Act and other policies to protect their rights, many still face societal discrimination and economic disparities. Joseph Achu-Homadzi, the president of the Ghana Federation of Disability Organization, advocates for the rights of persons living with disability.
We appreciate all these laws and the policies and all that, but we haven't gone any far. We haven't gone any far at all. Our people are still suffering and lowering the poverty, even though there are some few measures and attempts by the governments, various governments, or for that matter, the states. But there's more room for improvement. Our people are really, really suffering out there. For example, the disability law. It has been in the system for more than 10 years. But you look at its implementation, very poor. Many people are not adhering to it. So it's all about implementation.
The current economic situation in Ghana has worsened the plight of most persons in the disability spectrum. Meeting basic needs from meager incomes like Isa Al-Hassan is a challenging task, and the story of approximately 500 persons living with disability who lost their source of livelihood following the cessation of road toll collection is even more heart-wrenching.
Just recently, this very government came up with a laudable idea when they actually reserved the place for the two booths for persons with disability to man. Yeah. You remember it came up that, okay, we are stopping it all together. And nobody cared what happened to persons with disability who were manning the two booths. Up to today, they are fit. Nobody knows. And nobody's telling them anything.
In 2019, the United Nations released a report titled the UN Disability and Development Report, which aims to realize the Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs) by, for, and with persons with disabilities. The report reviews data, policies, identifies best practices, and recommends actions to promote the realization of the SDGs for persons with disabilities. These global efforts highlight the need to prioritize persons living with disability in our national economic empowerment agenda. While Issa and many others may not be as fortunate as individuals who have regained mobility through groundbreaking technologies or gained fame on international stages, they have a dream of helping persons like them reach their maximum potentials.
One of my friends is at what they call it, Mamprobi, also a disabled, by using one crutches. He's using one crutches. Oh, through my advice, small, he went into shoemaking with someone, into partner with someone. He became a master now. But sometimes he used to crawl on the floor, and still he's managing himself with this the same work. See, so those. If I can, like if my work in my business has expand, I can help some of them.
Now, the Hajj board has confirmed that the first flight scheduled to airlift the first batch of 430 pilgrims from the Kotoka International Airport has been rescheduled to Sunday at 12 noon. The flight was originally scheduled for Saturday night. This the board attributes to a technical issue announced by the airline. The board has, however, assured of the safety of pilgrims who are embarking on this year's pilgrimage to Mecca. There is more in this report.
About 4,500 Muslim pilgrims are expected to embark on this holy journey from Ghana this year. The pilgrimage, which is a mandatory religious duty for Muslims that must be carried out at least once in their lifetime, offers a month-long spiritual purification opportunity in Mecca. The attendees were scheduled to travel on Saturday. However, the trip has been pushed to Sunday. The Director of Communications for the Hajj Board, Alhaji Ramadan Gomda, tells Citi News the airline made the request due to a technical glitch.
The airline decided that they had to address a certain technical issue, as a result of which the timing must change. The Executive Secretary, Alhaji Farouk Hamza, tried to impress upon them that, look, this is going to affect the planning of individual pilgrims and we members of the Hajj board. Eventually, though, it was not feasible. So we have agreed that check-in will be 4 a.m. Sunday.
The board further assured of the safety of the pilgrims who are embarking on this year's journey.
They are very, very safe. Look, we have security personnel from here. We have soldiers, we have police officers, we have immigration officers, and these officers, by the nature of their training, mingle with the pilgrims to ensure their safety. And we have the agents. The agents have their various pilgrims. You are looking at over 3 million people from different parts of the world. So it's very good you are asking about their safety. In fact, we ensure that it is number one. Apart from the pilgrims who take care of their individual pilgrims, we are there on the ground to ensure that. It is number one priority, ensuring that where they sleep is not far from the key places of worship. That is like the Kaaba and the hotel. A team went to Saudi Arabia, led by the chairman of the Hajj board, to inspect the accommodation arranged for this year's pilgrims. They came back with a thumbs up for the choice made by the Executive Secretary and his team. So proximity, A1.
Some of the pilgrims who had started converging at the Hajj village at the Kotoka International Airport expressed their satisfaction about arrangements made by the authorities, despite the rescheduling of their flight.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd. Praise and thanks be to Allah who has taken us far for this preparation for us to embark upon the Hajj. Everything has been smooth. The people are ready. The bodies are also ready. And everything is going on well. And so we are praying that inshallah, by Allah's grace, everything continues like the way it is going on.
So what are your expectations when you get to Mecca?
The expectation that is all what we pray. As Allah, the Prophet said, Al-Hajj Mabrur, laysa lahu jaza ila Jannah. We are expecting that inshallah, all the people that we are going, we are able to perform the rituals well, do everything very well, have the fear of Allah.
So far, so good. I would say previously, over the years, the Hajj Board Committee has done marvelous work. But this year is exceptional. It's our hope and prayer that Ghanaians, pilgrims, will be a one umbrella, just as my other colleagues have made mentioned. We'll perform Umrah. Mostly we go to Hajj to perform Tamato. That is the Umrah alongside Hajj. It is our hope and prayer that all pilgrims carried from Ghana to Mecca will perform Hajj successfully.
So far, so good. We've prepared our pilgrims as is needed. Per our preparation, we are only waiting to be airlifted to the Holy Land of Prophet Muhammad. And so far, so good. With what has happened in Tamale, we know Accra also moves smoothly. Previously they've done well, and we know by the way they've started this year will be more better than before.
Meanwhile, some pilgrims from Tamale, the capital city of the northern region, have already left the country for the holy city Mecca. Although authorities at the Hajj board have confirmed a rescheduling in the flight, some of the pilgrims still maintain they are still satisfied with preparations made for the 2023 Hajj. Reporting for Citi News, I am Emmanuel Opon.
Now, as public basic schools across the country are vacating, pupils and caterers under the government school feeding program want the government to address all outstanding issues concerning the school feeding program before next term resumes. Although some caterers have resumed work as they have been cooking for the students, many others did not return to the kitchen throughout the term. During City News' visit to some schools in the Ashanti region on Thursday, some pupils noted that the lack of food throughout the period of strike really affected them, and as such, they want the government to resolve all matters so they do not suffer during the next academic term. Ashanti Regional Correspondent Fatia Minu Ibrahim has more.
Caterers under the government's school feeding program in the Ashanti region reviewed their services for months since the reopening of the second term of the 2023 academic year. This comes after the caterers declared a strike following their demand for governments to pay outstanding arrears and also increase the amount per child daily. The matter later took a bigger dimension when their counterparts from other regions across the country joined the strike. Some caterers in the Ashanti region, however, resumed work after the Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection assured of government's commitment to pay outstanding arrears for third term of the 2022 academic year. The sector minister also hinted at a proposal to increase the amount per head from 97 pesos to 1 cedi 20 pesos, which has been rejected by the caterers. As the second term is coming to an end, some caterers who resumed work few weeks to the end of the academic term have intensified calls on the government to increase the amounts per child daily and also pay all outstanding arrears before school resumes for the next academic term. Ruth Amwako, a caterer at Amankwetia cluster of schools, is one of them and has been highlighting their concerns.
Na srena ye besra banse o se skana baba nye nyina na wansi di na nkwala ni dwuma skani so skani ka se so na e bo iso ene so na no mo bo ayeti ho kodwoma untime nto ade wansi di emfa man kwala no se bi omuni enti srena ye srena ye panacho ohu ye mobo na e ma no ye bre kodwoma ye bre pa na skani dia ko mo fa bi enka ye ho e ma ye no be bo ama nkwala na dua no Apostle Kakra. Once the 20 pesos in the Yamian Peniswa. Once the 20 pesos in Timin, any pure capitalism. A shopper and Titaka 3 cedi in account your match. I hear you cry at 25B at a dog body. On my Serena, yes, Serena. Yes, sir, your bread, Palano. If you move free, if you back, or moon, first car more, or move first car. It's a heya no baby to chop on a yedi, papa name says Serena,
For the peoples who suffer the consequences of all the back and forth, they want government to take all necessary measures to ensure they are fed properly during the next academic term. One of the peoples whose school's caterer has not cooked for them throughout the term has been speaking to Citi News on condition of anonymity.
You say your pet canteen bit say jollof, rice and stew. Gonna and say no more gravy by your medjai. Intiama feeding way on the man in a monk of a comedy on it. The Yasam bread canteen. I was say I buy no extra canteen for a car. Send ya or move it to me. I a danina bread.
Public-based schools across the country are vacating, and the pupils are hoping that all matters regarding the school feeding program will be resolved before the beginning of the next academic term. For Citi News, Fati Amin Ibrahim, Kumasi.
You're still watching the Citi Newsroom here on Citi TV. Still to come. Residents of Tema New Town raises concerns regarding the siting of a recently constructed Central oil refinery within their community. We have details of this and other stories coming up shortly. Please do stay.
has been extra sweet, and the way he looks at me.
I have done everything by the book. It's on. Hey, but I have to get some condoms, Charlie.
Using a condom will protect you and your partner from HIV, STIs, and unplanned pregnancy. Condoms are an effective way for protection against HIV infection. Don't take risks. Use a condom every time. Always come prepared.
This advert is brought to you by the Ghana AIDS Commission and Ghana Health Service.
Finally, anyone can become a house owner.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You Go Flip, a real estate gaming platform that allows you to play and stand a chance of winning a house or cash or consolidated prizes, such as savings towards a house. Simple and easy to play. Visit www.yougoflip.com. Buy a ticket to enter the game. Wait for the end of the game to enjoy the win. Anyone can win. Flip it or own it. You Go Flip. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Play responsibly, not for persons below 18 years, and gaming can be addictive.
You're welcome back to the City Newsroom. In more stories this hour, concerns have been raised by residents of Tema New Town regarding the placement of the recently constructed Central Oil Refinery within their community. They fear that this proximity could potentially result in the loss of lives in the event of an explosion. City News' Daniel Odro-Mensah visited the community and has come through with this report read to you by Emmanuel Opong.
The establishment of the Central Oil Refinery, a $3 billion investment by the Central Group of companies based in China, has sparked concerns among residents of Tema New Town. This refinery, located within the Tema industrial area, boasts of a capacity of about 100,000 barrels per day, making it the largest refinery in the country. The primary purpose of the facility is to increase the local refinery capacity by 60,000 barrels per day, thereby supplementing the previous output of 40,000 barrels per day from the state-owned Tema Oil Refinery, TOR. The decommissioning of TOR's expanded plant, which suffered damage in a 2017 explosion, necessitated the need for additional refinery capacity. However, the community dwellers living in close proximity to the Central Oil Refinery have expressed their apprehensions and fears regarding their safety and livelihoods. Their concern ranged from potential displacement due to future evictions to the risk of living near a refinery that could pose dangers to their lives. Gloria Ake, a single parent residing in a makeshift structure with her 2 children, shared a tragic story with City News, highlighting the uncertainties and anxieties felt by the residents.
Mark ni na eje no wa nye fu ya won ni o ka gbe si o mark no po mo distance ni yo mi ekponwulu no mi e single parent ji mi nye bi enyo mba na mo ko mo ngro tie bi ni ka me yo o since na me born ni na ma no quality ni kan ka shi inye ma wo bi an ko 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 si pa ni je ni kan ka shi nye ma no ni ba ese ton po ni wa nye fu ko na bu bi ene man ke fe amenti ni ko ka shi gba onyo wo shi option ko be.
Other community members also voiced their worries and anxieties to City News, expressing their concerns about the potential risk associated with living near the refinery.
Why the whole thing has been sighted, if there's an oil spillage, in fact, it's going to cause so many things. Oil spillage is not an easy thing. So actually, that's the news of the town. Everybody's talking about it. So as we speak now, we don't know who to contact because the opinion leaders in this town, in the community, you have others, you have environmental people who are supposed to make sure the right thing is done. But when we look at the whole thing, in fact, it becomes the needs of the town. So people are not happy of where they have started this refinery. So as a matter of fact, they're not happy in the town. Government have to come in and then make sure the right thing is done. Because they are the only person or only people who somebody is looking up to. So if there's something can do about it, then they have to quickly come and rectify the situation.
Me pa de ho akame. Sanya ya be ye sisi tank kakra yi de sisi ade ye hu kra ya bo hu mpo. Nti esre. Won be ye bibi wo hu maye. Nti
appeal to government to see to it because the ordinary people you don't have powers. You don't have any power. You know that the government only the government can do something about it for the community.
Meanwhile, sources close to management of the Citi oil refinery have revealed that there will be a community engagement on July 11 to allay fears of the community dwellers.
Let's take you to the Ashanti region now because there is an urgent call by drivers and traders at the Dr. Mensah section of the Kumasi Central Market for city authorities to fix a gully that is fast expanding at a major portion of the road. Commuters are worried about the threat and danger the gully poses and want the lives of drivers and traders who frequent the area are at risk. Citi News' Ashanti regional correspondent Hafiz Tijani reports.
This looks like a typically abandoned mining pit, but it is not. It is a small hole that has expanded to become a gully on the major streets of the Dr. Mensah section of the Kumasi Central Market. This is a very busy trading area where drivers, traders and commuters compete for space daily. Ya Ejewa sells at this part of the Central Market and recounts how a commuter who was not aware of the gully fell into it.
Yeni subiri ye sha ye di subiri ye obi kura betum be ma bi wa betom e ma metia mu a na ya anwumre metia mu a na me ma betwa wusia ya omutimi yi no.
The area where the gully has devolved is where taxi drivers ply their trade and transport passengers to parts of the Kumasi metropolis. The drivers say city authorities are turning a blind eye to the problem.
Mama yende say BBC answer masamba abe bokota kese abe jo allowance ye empresa o mama ye maye ye sere omo a they two na mo akwa bebre da ye wa ha na obi frey kebe boss na mo ye frey no wo say we over bros fu adwuma saka wo ye oba so from number ye so we just ha me da ho so ho je form on the abato da o mutum bumbum wi a asan o mu hiem bi Kumasi abio.
Passengers who board vehicles at this station are equally worried about the development.
This is a threat to humanity. This one is a threat to humanity. In fact, let's assume that it is raining and it is full up and no one knows. You can just be drowned by this one. So I think proper things must be done here in Kumasi. The politicians are here. All they want is their vote. When they get the vote, then they go to sleep. That is not how we plan a city. A city like Kumasi is now gradually turning to become village because of the leaders in the helms of affairs here. And also the central government is not doing his best. In fact, the central government must also understand that if Kumasi is the second capital, then they should up their whatever they are doing. The central government should up his actions because they always pay lip service to the work here in Kumasi, but they don't actually do it. So they should up they are doing. For instance, this market that they are constructing, for some time now, is not going on. So they should come and do it. Anytime they are doing something in Kumasi, they are doing it as if they want to help us. No, but we are also part of the citizens of this country. So if you are doing something, it is a taxpayer's money. It is the loan that we contract from elsewhere that is used to build this country. But whenever they are doing something in Kumasi, it look as if they do it. They take lackadaisical attitude, doing everything in Kumasi. That is why our city is now like this.
The news team caught up with a first-time user of this part of the market and was shocked at what she saw.
This was there at the first place. So I was shocked. Yeah, I was shocked. And I felt scared too. I've seen this because if it rains and I suppose I don't know this was there and I was passing here, I would have felt. Should just do something about it. Because if someone doesn't know, that person will be here, screaming for help, and no one will know someone is there.
Officials at the Urban Roads Department confirmed to Citi News the development has been brought to their attention and steps are being taken to fix the gully. But traders and drivers here want this to be done immediately to avert a possible disaster.
For drivers and commuters here, the danger this gully poses is very enormous, and they want city authorities to act swiftly to address this challenge. Hafiz Tijani, Citi News, Dr. Mensa, Ashanti region.
This is still the Citi Newsroom here on Citi TV with me, Kwaku Ediama. Answer still to come. The quest to discover Ghana's next music icon on Citi TV Season 5 for Voice Factory commences with electrifying live performance by contestants. Details coming up shortly. Please do stay.
From the shores to the pools to the beaches across the land, if you fancy yourself a competitive swimmer, this is for you. The Citi TV National Swimming Championships is happening on the 15th and the 16th of July 2023 at the Trust Sports Emporium. To register, WhatsApp your name, age and contact details to 0558 973 973 or call 0205 973 973. The Citi TV National Swimming Championships is brought to you by Citi TV with support from 97.3 Citi FM and the Ghana Swimming Association.
If you're a whiz kid that collects straight A's in your sleep, a brainy brains that aces quizzes without even trying, or a clever clogs that knows just about everything, then there's one more battle you have to win. The Literacy Challenge. The nationwide search for the best junior high student is on. Think it could be you going home with 10,000 Ghana cedis and a glitzy trophy? Then, in not less than 600 words, write a story that ends with the following statement. The happiest people do not have the best of everything, they make the best of everything they have. Stories should be written in your own handwriting with the deadline of Saturday, the 15th of July 2023 in mind. Submissions must include an endorsement by a parent or guardian and their full contact details. And once you're done, shoot off your entries to the front desk of Citi TV or Citi FM. Or you can send entries to PO Box GP 14123 Accra Central. For more inquiries, call 0558 973 973. The Literacy Challenge 2023 is powered by Citi TV, supported by Citi FM, and is sponsored by the Ghana National Gas Company and Ribby Crunchy Biscuits by M4 Foods.
You're welcome back to the Citi Newsroom. In more stories, the Social Security and National Insurance Trust (NIT) is encouraging the public, particularly persons in the informal sector, to enroll on its pension scheme. This, it says, will enable such persons benefit from the scheme in their old age. Now, speaking to Citi News on the back of a sensitization campaign for a self-employed enrollment drive, manager of the Adabraka NIT branch, Kojo Pobi Abaka Hayford, encouraged persons in the informal sector to make it a priority in contributing to the scheme. There is more in this report.
In Ghana, majority of the country's workforce are found in the informal sector, while those in formal sector employment enjoy pension contributions on their behalf due to its mandatory nature. Those in the informal sector are voluntarily required to contribute to the pension scheme managed by the Social Security and National Insurance Trust. However, just a small fraction of people in the informal sector make the voluntary contributions. In a bid to address this, the SNIT Ladies Club sensitized the public on self-employment enrollment drive to encourage informal sector workers to enroll on the SNIT pension scheme. Manager of the Adabraka SNIT branch, Kojo Pobi Abaka Hayford, in a Citi News interview, highlighted the importance of getting everyone to enroll on the pension scheme.
We have about a little over 10 million people out there who are in the informal sector. Well, we've done quite a bit in the formal. We've not conquered the whole of the formal, but about over 10 million, because from the statistics we got from the Statistical Services Department, we realized we have more people in the informal than in the formal. So our mandate is to get every Ghanaian worker on the Social Security scheme. So that is our target. We are not looking at part of that target. Our target is to get every Ghanaian worker. So if we have 10 million people in the informal who are not on board the scheme, our target is to get those 10 million onto the scheme. And whatever you are doing now is temporal, because the time comes that you can no more do what you're doing. How do you see the future? What do you think is going to happen in 10 years, say even a year from today? Are you going to be able to do or gain whatever you're gaining now? Because it's going to halt at a point in time. The owner of the business, even when you find yourself doing your own business, a time will come you can no more carry. Let me use the tomato seller for instance, who sells maybe in Agbogloshi, who carries the tomato in a pan on her head. A time is coming, she can no more carry that tomato on her head. She's going to sit down and expect that, well, whatever she was getting when she was carrying that tomato, she still gets. But the question is, where is she going to get that thing from? And that's why we believe that so far as you plan ahead and you secure that future, when you know very well that the time comes you cannot do all those things, there should be something that still feeds you, something that still takes care of your health, something that still clothes you. And that's why we believe that Social Security is the best for you, and especially when SNIT is paying you till you die.
For the branch manager of Legon SNIT, Cynthia Yeboah Amwa, it is crucial for women who constitute a major part of the informal sector to have something to fall on in the event of their old age.
We want to advise every woman, both in the market, those who sew, those who sell, whether you sell online or you sell face-to-face, whether you are a mechanic, whether you are a supplier of any goods or any service you render. We want to encourage every woman to come on board, especially women below the age of 45. We want to empower them to stand on their feet so that when they grow old, they will have something to rely on.
Meanwhile, some informal sector workers who spoke to Citi News after the sensitization drive say they are ready to contribute to SNET pension scheme due to the enormous benefit they will derive from it.
We say, Papa, yes, every a month, okay, month, 50 cities, and 200 cities, which is how could do 60 come out to me, Juma, and I say, be a accident to be, and I say, we are Juma, I say, when you're so physical, to me, Juma, Casa. And I say, I'm for my ABR, free ma, on next of king, and I say, Obusan for home this kind of every mom. But okay, Papa, and I'm so for some year cry. We send next Monday, I'm about John Navy.
Snatch for the Mojuma, good. Maybe so you know, the Kaiser number, and I go no yet now for men, MTC. Of course, pension, I am 62 years now, I am 10 beyond, but so I know it's not Kakrawa bang. The idea really good. From that, you know, until MNG, Samson living in the scene. And I catch you to me as a senator and the other one, Shema,
Now, the first live show of the Voice Factory Season 5 saw energetic and captivating performances from the contestants. The 11 contestants are seeking to capture the bragging rights and the cash prize of 20,000 Ghana cedis when they emerge winner of this year's edition of the musical reality show. Tasked to perform any favorite song from the genre of rhythms and blues R&B, contestants showcase their vocal prowess on stage. Here are highlights from the first live show of the Voice Factory Season 5. The anticipation going into the live show was high and most contestants lived up to expectation. The 11 contestants had been tasked to perform a rhythm and blues R&B song as they tried to sway their audience, at least for the very first time. Every contestant was optimistic their first performance will garner them more votes as the competition unfolds.
You make me say, ooh, and I just can't think of anything else I'd rather do but to hear you say my name the way you do, baby. When we do a thing, when we do the things we do,
to subside. I'm always grateful for myself. I'm gonna love you the way that you love. Do I love to see you from the point of view? I wanna trust me and the way you trust, 'cause nobody ever loved me like you do. When I see you, never knew that you might walk by, so I gotta be right on time when I see you. When I see you, hey. You're always on my mind. 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 Oh, when I see
you. You love to hear it, yes.
We're only allowed to give one of these. But we decided to give her 3.
Oh my goodness. I mean, Bella, do you know what that means? It means you gave a good performance. A really good performance. Yeah.
Unfortunately, not every contestant had a good start.
places it's need to know if you don't know just how I feel. Now let me show you now that I'm for real. If all things in time will reveal. Yeah, one, you like a dream come true. Two, just wanna be with you. Three, girl, it's plain to see that you're the only.
This is your very first performance. Is this what you were looking out for? Is this something that you say you were proud of?
Okay, it being my first performance, I expected more, right? But first time and stage fright and all those things, so it didn't go as expected. But I mean, it was okay. It was okay. Yeah, I thought I would have done worse. Yeah, so I think it's cool.
The live show of The Voice Factory airs every Saturday on Citi TV at 6:30 p.m. with repeat on Sunday at 12:30 p.m. on 97.3 Citi FM. Season 5 of The Voice Factory is powered by Citi TV with support from Citi FM and sponsored by Ebony Condoms, Nalo Solutions, Eddie's Pizza, Twist Cupcakes, and Copan Hospitality. Do remember that The Voice Factory airs this and every Saturday at 6:30 p.m. on Citi TV. And that's it for today's edition of the Citi Newsroom here on Citi TV. Our website, citinewsroom.com, has more information on our top stories and more. Subscribe to CitiTube on YouTube for more exclusive video content from Citi TV. My name is Kweku Ediama and Samiri. Thanks for watching.